I have to confess Dietrich Bonhoeffer was an unfamiliar name to me, a German cleric who stood up to the Nazis before and during the Second World War. But he's clearly well known in German and church circles. There have been half a dozen films about Bonhoeffer.
All of whom have been in the gas chambers. Devout to Christians like you.
If you were speaking to many members of my broken church, you would be right. But you are not.
When you cross the border, you're free.
Free? What is free?
The latest one, Bonhoeffer, Pastor, Spy, Assassin, comes from the predominantly Christian Angel Studios, the people behind another based-on-real-life project, the hit film Sound of Freedom.
Churchill sees Germany as a whole. He's afraid that a bomb traced to England would mean invasion or worse.
Invasion. Invasion! My country was invaded from within.
Like Sound of Freedom, Bonhoeffer doesn't feel compelled to stick religiously to the facts. Did Dietrich Bonhoeffer really discover jazz in Harlem and end up jamming with Louis Armstrong all in one night? Well, possibly not, but I digress. What is the story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer?
I need you to understand that your life will not be the same after I speak these words. We have devised a plot to assassinate the Führer.
Well, I'm not sure Pastor, Spy, Assassin is the best place to learn that. Even by the lax standards of movie subtitles, this is a bit misleading. Dietrich was certainly a pastor. We meet him as a boy near the end of World War I, being given a Bible by his beloved brother. He later goes to Bible school in Harlem, where he meets racism for the first time.
We're so fortunate not having anything like this in Germany.
My brother, hate comes in every color. Your eyes just haven't been opened yet.
I'm afraid you have to get used to clunky lines like, "Thank heavens there's no chance of any racism arising in Germany in the early 30s. Though I was more irritated by lines clearly taken out of Bonhoeffer's many theological books to be used as dialogue. Do people actually talk like this?
Our silence in the face of evil is itself evil.
Words aren't words anymore, Dietrich. They're nooses, bullets. This is a trigger that cannot be unpulled.
Once Dietrich comes back home, he sees that in fact the Nazis have started taking over. So he and his right-thinking Protestant friends speak up, often in pulpits. On hearing this, various people in Nazi uniforms get a bit huffy, occasionally storming out of the church. Is that it?
Guide our hands. Guide our trembling hands.
God sent Germany a true savior!
Well, obviously not. The religious establishment find themselves stymied even when, I think I've got this right, Adolf Hitler and his fellow travelling bishops decide to remove anything Jewish from the entire Bible. Some churches, according to this film at any rate, even replaced the Bible with Hitler's Mein Kampf. That can't be true, surely.
Hitler has captured the nation's imagination, Dietrich.
Bravery is a rare commodity. You will go to England as our spy.
Anyway, sticking as close to the storyline as this film does, senior German clerics from a breakaway sector called the Confessing Church send Dietrich Bonhoeffer to England as a spy. Well, not quite. More someone telling the Brits what's going on in Germany. But Dietrich is disillusioned at how little help he's getting.
What good is the church if it doesn't speak for the victims of the state?
The church's job is to kindle peace, peacefully.
Oh, you mean silently?
By halfway through Bonhoeffer, I knew how he felt. Despite some interest in finding out why Dietrich Bonhoeffer warranted at least 5 movies about him, I kept being wrong-footed by its impenetrable timeline. We start in 1945 with our hero being sent to a concentration camp before flashing back to random parts of his past.
Something's coming. Something else different.
Look around you, my friend. How much light do you see?
We keep rocketing backwards and forwards through time, presumably to jazz things up. like Louis Armstrong. And also, I suspect, to gloss over the fact Bonhoeffer didn't actually do a lot other than write. In fact, his friend Martin Niemöller was responsible for the most famous lines in the film.
Because when the Nazis first came for the socialists, I didn't speak out. Because I was not a socialist. And then they came for the Jews. And I didn't speak out. Not soon enough, because I am not a Jew.
In the end, I learnt far more about the pastor, spy and assassin, including the fact that Dietrich Bonhoeffer didn't actually assassinate anyone, from 2 minutes of Googling than I did from 2 hours of this film. The fact is, just being a decent chap in a time and a place where decent chaps were very thin on the ground isn't necessarily the basis of a good story, though I'm sure Bonhoeffer's been the subject of many a good sermon over the years.
God forgive us if we do this. Will he forgive us if we don't?